Hi, my name is Natalie and I write books, and I also don't know what my hair is doing today, so I was hoping we could both just ignore it and move on with everything. It's in that awkward stage where it was short and it's growing out, and now that's neither here nor there. This video, we're gonna talk about March. I do these every single month so I can have kind of like a diary to look back on, see where I'm at in life, and also so that I can connect with you guys in the comments and you can tell me what you've been up to in March. So without further ado, I feel really, today, I don't know what's going on either. I genuinely don't know what's going on either. I just feel like, there's a bunch of squirrels in my brain that are at when Inside Out where they have that control board of all your emotions, it feels like there are squirrels in there and they're all just like hitting all the buttons. Anyway, in these videos I cover 4 categories, which is writing, reading, entertainment, and just like general life updates. And I don't want this to be a one-sided conversation, so feel free as I share what I've been up to in the month to write your own responses in the comments so that we can chat about what you were up to in March. I've been rambling too much, so let's jump into it. Let's start with my favorite category, which is writing. The first half of the month was night and day from the second half of the month. So I'm gonna throw up my stats, probably right here, of the first half of the month so you can kind of get a look at it. In the first half of the month, I wrote let me look at it so I make sure I get the right number. 4,202 words. Pretty fantastic for me. As always, I could be critical, I could always write more, but honestly, I could have written less, as the second half of the month proved. So I am proud with that amount. The majority of what I wrote was in Project Wild Ivy, which is a Regency romance novel, something that I was actively trying to finish in the month of March. We'll come back to that. But then also I kind of dipped into Project A, which if you haven't heard about that, I recommend checking out the video I'm gonna link up here right now, and I'll also have it in the description. It is my Camp NaNoWriMo project for April, and I just kind of had a brain dump, so I included those words because I wrote them, so I might as well include them, right? I am filming this video on Easter, which is March 31st, the last day of March, which means NaNoWriMo starts tomorrow. I am so excited. I'm nervous because we'll get into it a little bit later, but I now have a full-time job. So my writing time is now severely limited, but I'm still really excited. My plans for Camp NaNoWriMo, again, you can watch that video to find out more, but basically is to just work on the scene-by-scene breakdown for that, the outlining stage. If I get to write any words, that would be a fantastic bonus, but that's not the plan. So now let's talk about the second half of March. I will throw up those stats now. Yeah. I got a new job in the middle of the month, a full-time 40-hour-a-week job, and it is an hour away. Sometimes with traffic, it's an hour-and-a-half drive, so essentially 11 and a half to 12 hours of my day, I am away from home. And that's a chunk. That's a huge chunk of my life that is suddenly gone. So you can tell that my writing is taking a hit, but I am hopeful that now that I have kind of settled into it, that I can start using my lunch breaks as a chance to write a little bit. I have my own office so I can close the door and limit distractions. And I'm thinking, if I can eat in 10-ish minutes or 15-ish minutes, then I can have the rest of that time to write. And for Camp NaNoWriMo specifically, my goal is pretty small. So even if I can just get a little bit of time in during that lunch break, it'll probably help me. I am also gonna try some dictation on my commute. I'm not great at dictation because it's just not really how my brain works, but I am gonna give it another try. My commute isn't difficult on my brain or anything like that. For a lot of it, especially coming home, I am stuck in standstill traffic because you gotta love Central Florida. So I am wondering if maybe because my drive is less taxing on my brain, that dictation might be easier. I don't know. We're gonna find out if it works for me. I will let you know how it goes. A major disappointment of March was that I did not finish my goal of completing Wild Ivy. It's March 31st today, and let me tell you, that book ain't done. I am on chapter 26 out of 36, and it looks like I am sitting at 54,019 words. I don't know what to tell you. Yeah. But you know what? It's okay. It's okay. This book isn't going anywhere. My brain is still hyper fixated on how much I love it. Better days are coming. So the next question is, what is my new goal for finishing Wild Ivy? I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I feel like that John Mulaney quote where he's like, I don't know. I know that you told me, but I am very small and I have no money. So you can imagine the kind of stress that I am under. That's what I feel like right now. So yeah, I don't know. I don't know what that goal is. Part of me wonders if I can incorporate Wild Ivy into my Nano goal. I know that I had said the plan was to put it aside and completely focus on Project A. I don't know if that's still what I want to do. Project A is completely in the outlining phase and Wild Ivy is in the drafting phase. So I wonder if my brain can handle both at the same time. Maybe I'm focusing my time on Project A, but once I hit that minimum goal for the day, maybe I can turn to Project Wild Ivy. I'm not sure yet. I think maybe I'm just going to take it on intuition. If that day I feel like I want to work on Wild Ivy, I'm not gonna stop myself. Let me know what you think in the comments. Let me know what you think is a good idea or not a good idea. I don't want to lose steam on Wild Ivy. I want it done, but I also would like to completely dedicate my time to Project A and give it the love that it deserves. So let me know what you think. I really don't know what to do there. Before we wrap up this section, I just want to say this is how many words that I wrote in the month of March. Not bad, not good, just kind of the norm for me. So, woo! Go being a writer with a real job that is not writing. This shelf is empty. You might have noticed. I'm aware. I just reorganized to do this color coding thing. This looks like I own no books. I own a lot of books. They're just all downstairs because they're on the bookshelf that people see when they come over, and they're really pretty. They're all color coded all the way across. It's very nice. These are my other books, and they were not pretty for a long time. You're aware because you saw the videos. You saw the other ones. So I made it pretty, but now there's just this empty shelf, and then the shelf above that one, it's not empty. There's books, but it's not a lot of books. So I think the solution here is that I need to buy more books. So everyone tell my husband and tag him in the comments. Next category is reading. I read a crap ton of books in the month of March. Just for a little comparison, I'm not gonna look up the actual numbers, but you can watch the videos. I think in January I read 6 books, and then February maybe 8 books. Yeah, and this month, the month of March, I read 13 books. Who am I? Am I a booktuber? Did I make it? Am I a booktuber? No, because I don't make reading vlogs. I would like to, but I feel like I would be so boring. How do you guys make reading videos so interesting? I'm not cool when I read books. Have you seen Taylor Ann Wright's, her book reading vlogs? She makes them so interesting and cool. I'm not that cool. How do I be that cool? Taylor, tell me. I feel like a psycho right now. I feel like the squirrels have taken over. I'm gonna mention a few books that I read, but I'm not gonna mention all of them because this is not that kind of channel. But if you're interested, I have a Goodreads account where I log everything, so I'll put that in the description. You can check it out. But if you're not interested in that, let's talk about the highlights. I did it. I finished The Chronicles of Narnia. There were 2 books. It was The Silver Chair and the Last Battle, I want to say. I don't know. They'll be up on the screen. But yes, I finished The Chronicles of Narnia. I had a wonderful time. The Last Battle was so, deeply enriched in theology. And if you don't know, I am a Christian. And, finding the parallels of that book to the Bible was very interesting. I felt like it was a little heavy for children. I did not read these books as a child. If you did, please let me know. I want to know what you thought about it, / if you even picked up on like how heavy that book was. I really enjoyed reading the Chronicles of Narnia. I feel like C.S. Lewis is a champion of really clear writing. He says exactly what he means, and I actually appreciated that, especially for children's literature. I feel like it was really nice that his dialogue and even his like omnipotent narration, it just sounds like someone literally telling a story to a child. Like what you would say as you're speaking to a kid is what he wrote. And I really enjoyed that. If you've read those books, I'd love to hear your thoughts, especially if you read them as a kid, because I feel like obviously I had a different experience as an adult, but I really enjoyed it. The second book I want to talk about is Check and Mate by Ali Hazelwood. If you don't know who she is, she writes spicy? Yeah, spicy romance books, mainly focused on like women in STEM. So like, shoot, what does STEM stand for? Science, technology, engineering, and math? I think that's right. So like women in science, basically. And I like her adult books. Sorry if that's cringy for you. I like them. But when I heard she wrote a YA, I wanted to read it. I still love YA. I read it as an adult. If that's weird for you, I'm sorry that your life is sad. I write YA, so I read YA. And I really loved it. Like, I don't necessarily think Ali Hazelwood is the greatest writer of all time, but you cannot deny that she is really good at writing characters that you want to fall in love with, and just like funny, awkward, weird situations and quirky main characters, and I just loved it. I had a great time. If you like romance, I would recommend it. Next, I read Shadow and Bone. I read the whole trilogy. I freaking loved it. My gosh, why did it take me so long to read these books? I mentioned back in January that I watched the show. I think it was January. Might have been February. No, I think it was January. I don't know. Look at the videos before. But I watched the series, the first 2 seasons, the only 2 seasons of the show, and really liked it. And so I knew I wanted to read the books. Being impatient, I bought them right away and I read them. And my gosh, the world that she created and those characters, I don't think it was perfect, but I'm not the type of person that thinks all books have to be, because we're all different people and perfect means something different to everybody. But her world building and her characters was so good. The magic system, beautiful. Like I have never felt so like entrenched in the culture and the world of something, at least not in a very long time. I enjoyed it so much. If you're a fantasy person, please read these books. The ending of the series, controversial. I liked it. If you read the series and you have opinions, I would love to hear them. Let me know what you think. The last book I want to talk about is Belladonna. This author I have followed on Instagram for a while. I found her, I want to say on like an Instagram ad maybe, or like a recommended post, but I saw the cover of this book and I was like, I have to. I don't know what it's about, but I have to. It's such a beautiful cover. So I bought it and wow. I like so don't want to tell you anything about this book. Like it is so much, and like going into it not knowing anything is almost better. It is a gothic setting with beautiful descriptions, and this girl who is connected to death but doesn't know why, keeps having people die around her, but she can't die herself. And also death is a character and they have chemistry. So freaking good. Please go read it. As soon as I can get my hands on the sequel, I will be reading it, because the cliffhanger, I need to read every book she's ever written. I'm a big fan and I hope you will be too. Now on to entertainment. This is kind of like a catch-all category, so it's things that I've been watching, whether that's movies or television, things that I've been listening to, podcasts, new music, things like that. I had friends in town and didn't spend a lot of time in front of the TV, which is a good thing. My husband and I are still watching Friends. We threw it back, watched Shark Tale, which was great fun because I feel like I hadn't seen it since I was a kid, and like, that movie's actually really funny. Highly recommend. You should all rewatch it. We also watched the new movie Wonka. I did not know it was a musical. So that was a shocker, but I liked it. I feel like Timothy Chalamet really owned that role. You can like actively tell that he had a fantastic time filming it, which is always fun. But the last thing that I want to talk about is something that I watched over the past couple days, and it is Quiet on Set, which is a short series kind of covering the dark side of child acting, specifically within like the Disney and Nickelodeon space. And it was hard to watch. It was really hard to watch. I don't necessarily want to recommend it to anyone. It was really hard to watch. I'm tearing up now thinking about it. Probably specifically because I work in theater and television. And I know that this series covers like the late 90s and early 2000s, but I do feel like things have gotten better, but I know that it's not completely right still to this day, and it just, it was really hard to watch. If it is something that interests you, if you want to learn more about the dark side of television, I guess I would recommend it to you then. Just know it's heavy. It's really heavy. I don't recommend watching it all in one sitting. There's only 4 episodes and I want to say they're an hour each. It's binge worthy. Don't watch it all at once, please. Be kind to yourself. I think that is way too much to put on you at one time. Yeah. I don't know if I really have any coherent thoughts on the series, but it was something that I watched that was impactful, so we're including it in this video. But let's take a deep breath collectively and move on to our next category, which is life updates. Biggest thing with life updates is, as you've already heard, I got a new job. It is a full-time job, it's far away, and going from unemployed to away from the home for about 12 hours a day is it's a lot. It's very different. I feel like I'm contributing to society again, so that's nice. Unemployment really gets to your brain after a while. But the hardest part, this is so stupid, but the hardest part is being away from my dog, because we had so much time together for those 3 months that I was unemployed, and now I'm away from him. And you know what? It's so dumb, but I sit at work and I miss my dog. The other life thing is that Camp NaNoWriMo is coming. It starts literally tomorrow. If I can edit this video and get it up before the end of the night, then you'll be watching this in real time. And tomorrow will actually mean tomorrow, April 1st. I'm super excited. I am hoping for a lot of progress and a lot of artistic rejuvenation working on a brand new project. I feel like I have been entrenched in Wild Ivy for maybe a little bit too long, and it is nice to set my sights on a new project, specifically a YA project, because that just has a different energy to it, you know? That is going to be it for this video. Thank you so much for hanging out with me. If you made it all the way to the end, you're my favorite. You're the best. Please comment down below and let me know what you were up to in March. And if you didn't know, I have bloopers at the end of every single video, and I know for a fact I was extra chaotic in this video, so stay tuned to watch those. Bye. Let's talk about March, baby. Let's talk about you and me. I can't put this video on the internet. I'm a freaking weirdo.